Hello, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be drawing in my sketchbook. This is my ongoing, not series, but my ongoing goal this summer to learn how to draw backgrounds. I've been doing a little bit of stuff. I watched a few videos, and now I want to practice what I learned in these videos. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So I'm just kind of like going back and checking my notes and figuring out exactly what I want to draw right now. So I'm starting with a horizon line and a vanishing point because I always kind of like generally knew a little bit of perspective. Eventually you pick things up every now and again, but I actually dedicated some time to learning it. So I'm trying to implement exactly what I've learned, which is like all these perspective lines. It was kind of more of a refresher just because I have picked up a little bit. I'm just really bad because I need practice. Like everyone, you kind of need some practice. I have this reference photo on the side and I'm trying to make sure that everything's in place and I'm trying to use my perspective lines. It wasn't working too well. I felt like the perspective lines were a little bit too diagonal. But because when I looked at the reference photo, they were a little bit more straight on, and I was trying to figure out why that was. I could not figure it out, and I actually end up completely erasing this at some point to draw something else over it. But we're trying. It has this like bridge type thing going over, so it's this walkway, and then there are buildings on either side. That's what I'm drawing. And there's this walkway that goes kind of above, like it's built to connect two buildings. And that's kind of what I'm drawing right here. And then there's a doorway into another spot. And I'm just kind of trying to put everything in its place and trying to use the perspective lines. It's not working. I don't like any of this. I don't understand why it's not going where I want it to go. It just doesn't work. I think I'm using all of these lines wrong, but I can't figure out how because I'm using them the exact same way that the video that I watched used them, and so I'm just confused the whole time that I'm drawing this. No. Eventually I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna start adding in my doorways that I'm seeing and try to line that up with the perspective lines as well, even though I don't like these perspective lines. It's hell. I hate it. I don't like this at all. And then I add this awning just because I felt like it was all boring because everything looked wrong and I was trying so hard to get it right that nothing was really working. And then I finally am like, you know what? Let's just kind of put it all in a box. This is the camera, the edges of the picture, like the edges of the drawing. And nope, we're erasing everything else, which turns out to be everything eventually. But yeah, goodbye. But the next thing that I'm doing is I'm adding in, I found a different reference picture of like this swirling little gateway, and I'm trying to do it the exact same way that I did it in my previous drawing, where I'm just kind of studying how the lines work in the reference photo and trying to figure out why it's working that way rather than using all these perspective lines, which is probably not the best way to learn because you need to know like the basics. But no, I don't like these perspective lines. It always looks wrong whenever I do it. If anyone knows why it keeps looking wrong, please let me know. So I'm just kind of going in and just adjusting things as I go based on what I think would look best and what I think makes it look right compared to the reference photo. And I found this reference photo of a tower with like a swirling little ledge, and then I'm just kind of copying it, and yeah, that's kind of what I did for the rest of this video because it just I'm like, if I don't enjoy doing it a certain way and it works better for me to do it a different way, then I'm gonna do it a different way. But I also feel bad doing it that different way because I don't want to copy like an image or something. And I don't want to like copy somebody else's photo or things like that, but and I also want to be able to do things that are from my head, which is why I'm like, I want to do perspective. But then whenever I sit down to learn perspective, the few times that I have, it's like this is hell and I hate it and no. Which is why I haven't learned perspective despite me doing art for a really long time. It just is not good. But it's just not my thing. I'm still gonna try because I do think that I should be pushing myself. But yeah, I don't like perspective at all. These perspective lines, and then every single video I watch is like, perspective made easy. It's so easy now for me now. Just do the horizon line and all these vanishing points and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, conceptually I completely understand. In practice, this sucks and I hate it. But yeah, I'm going in with some textured stones because it's like a cobblestone thing on my photo. And then I was kind of done. I was trying to imply the mountains behind the whole building that's right there, and then it's also on a cliff. So I was like drawing these vines off of the cliff, and then I wanted to imply depth. So I was making the stuff at the front darker, which is supposed to be like this forest, and then the mountains behind it. But I don't like it when my graphite smears, and so I was trying to use my kneaded eraser to like get rid of the excess graphite, and it didn't work because of course it's a kneaded eraser. It just kind of said no and just took all the graphite off because it's an eraser. And then this is when I go in and I'm like, nah, this whole thing's leaving, and I'm gonna draw this other picture that I found that I really like. And so now I'm going in and I'm kind of expanding the drawing below it, and then I am finally going in with the second picture, which are these stones out onto a balcony overlooking a sea. And so I'm going in with like this curved balcony and then adding in the stones and making it look a little bit brick type. And then I'm going in with my curve, and that curve is supposed to be like my guidelines for these for this wall that goes along it's the balcony wall. And I'm trying to do my best to draw all these little details on it, which I actually really enjoyed. It was just like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, which is really fun to do. And also boring at the same time. Like, therapeutic, is that the word? I don't know. But yeah, and then I went in and there was like this cliff on the side. So I did that cliff on the side. And then I drew in the sea, and then I did add some things that I liked personally to like finish out the piece so it wasn't so boring, because it did feel a little bit boring at this point. But right now I'm going in with all my sea and my ocean, and I'm just going side to side to try to give the water a little bit of texture. And then finally I'm going in and I'm like, I need to make this look better, because it just looks like an arch, like one of those bridges that like arches over a spot instead of like it's a curved fence. So I'm trying to make it look a little bit more like a curved fence. I don't think it worked. I think that's one of the things that perspective would actually be able to help me with, but that's just gonna come with practice, because I'm gonna keep trying. It's not like I'm gonna give up. I just don't like this. But now I'm going in with my own little creative liberty. And I'm adding in these arches so it looks like the viewer is going in and is like passing in between these arches that lead out to the balcony. And I'm erasing the inside because I wanted it to look a little bit more finished. And then I'm finishing off those arches, and I wanted it to disappear into the drawing below, kind of like how the drawing below is disappearing into the drawing above. And so I kind of didn't really add those columns to it. But yeah, that's my spread in my sketchbook. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys next time.